A letter to my son. Don't be a white-collar slave. By Ram Chellamuthu. Dear Ryan, this is your dad. I haven't seen you since your mom and I got separated. You were only 2.5 years old then. I miss you every day of my life, and I'm missing out on your growing up. I'm writing this letter to you because as a father, it is my responsibility to guide you through life. I want you to learn from what life has taught me. I was born and raised in a small town in South India. Extremely pampered and protected, I grew up in a typical middle-class family where the expectation and pressure on the child is to score high marks in every exam. You're growing up in that very same environment too, where the focus is purely on the marks scored and not on an overall wholesome education. Our societal system nips entrepreneurship in the bud while encouraging to become a white-collar slave. I can cite a personal experience. At the age of 11, I held a pen and told my teacher that I will be a celebrity one day and I will sign autographs. She asked me to get back to studying and get real. Life is always multidimensional, my son. The template for winning while you are a student, like scoring marks, doesn't work for winning in life. To be successful in life, you need a lot of different skill sets. Hope my life story and lessons would help you realize that. As teenagers, we are so vulnerable that media and our peers influence our behavior very easily. Nevertheless, we get inspired by media icons. And I was no exception. I started mimicking Tamil movie star Rajini's smoking style at the age of 7, and at the age of 15 got into smoking cigarettes. Son, don't smoke. After schooling, securing 48th rank amongst around 250,000 people who competed, I got into computer science at College of Engineering, Kindy. Away from home for the first time, the city of Chennai taught me the realities of life. In college, I realized that learning technology is not a means to land into a job, but as engineers, we can change the world, build a better tomorrow. This thought struck me hard when I saw the beach I played football on, ravaged by deadly tsunami that hit Tamil Nadu in 2004. I worked hard for months and invented a new artificial intelligence-based disaster alert system and presented it to Anna University and National Informatics Center, Government of India. This later got me the Young Scientist Award. Few months on, I got grants from the government to build vernacular libraries, using which developers could write vernacular applications for mobile phones. This touched millions of lives who couldn't read English. An entrepreneur is someone who finds a problem, solves it in a sustainable way, and adds value to the ecosystem. I was thrilled that I was able to add value to the society with my AI-based disaster alert system. I knew deep down in my heart that being an entrepreneur was my calling. But life had other plans. I got a call from Microsoft one fine day asking me to fly down to their Bangalore office. My excitement knew no bounds. For me, Bill Gates was like a demigod and Microsoft Office is like my tech Disneyland. From being a support engineer to a developer evangelist, taking countrywide responsibilities in 7 years, my corporate career jolted me in ways that would later define my life ahead. I wrote a proposal to Microsoft in my personal time to build an application operating system. The idea got rejected with an explanation that it would cannibalize Windows. I tried my best convincing the management that even if they kill my idea, the concept had such a low entry barrier that anyone with a computer and internet can build it. They should not ignore this threat. Microsoft didn't even bother to patent the idea, and a few months later, Sundar Pichai's babies, Chrome OS and Chromebook were announced. That was the first jolt in my corporate career. Not willing to give up, I presented a business paper on search engines to the management. This business paper caught the attention of Bill Gates, and the leadership of Microsoft appreciated my idea. And there we go. A pure tech guy gets into sales and marketing. My boy, age and adrenaline rush is sure a heady mix, a dangerous one usually. I internalized this the hard way when I met with a major accident on the Bangalore highway. I missed death by a few inches. Recuperating after multiple surgeries, I used this time to reflect back on my life. I realized that life is extremely volatile and everything could change forever in a matter of minutes. And this thought made me rethink about the purpose of my life. I wanted to bring in a positive change to the world. The recovery period also made me realize that I wasted a lot of valuable time in the menial aspects of life. I decided to pursue my passion in robotics. I got so deeply involved in robotics to a point that my friends joked that I would marry a machine. This obsession resulted in Buddy Home, a home robotics project which went viral, and I became an international tech celebrity in no time. Pretty much all top televisions, newspapers, and magazines around the world carried my story. Following to the success of Buddy Home, my family arranged my wedding with your mom. She is a great person and a perfect homemaker, but I did not fit into her values and belief system. Mismatch in values is the hardest to compromise in a relationship. Soon, our marriage turned sour. As I dealt with the fallout in my personal life, there came a brutal jolt in my work life as well. My then manager at Microsoft asked me to hack an app with Kinect open source SDKs, promising to acknowledge the open source community in the PR. And that never happened. I felt he was stealing from open source. When I expressed my disappointment to the leadership, my manager rated me as an underperformer and put me in the performance improvement plan. This entire incident is a perfect example of how a restrictive corporate culture can crumble innovativeness and eventually an empire. And no wonder Microsoft's growth was stale until Satya Nadella took over. And for me, this was the lowest point in life. Being rated an underperformer in my area of passion was too much to take. Tides change. You were born. And there was a high to my personal life. Fear is why we fail. A scene from the movie The Dark Knight Rises resonated with my difficult situation in life at that point. Like the kid who escaped the death well without a rope, I decided to take a plunge into the next phase of life as an entrepreneur without a backup. 4 months later, I quit my corporate life to start up. When you were merely 7 months old, I moved to Bay Area with $7,000 on me and a dream to build the most innovative software company on the planet. But the startup ecosystem in California did not care about anything I grew up with, including my skills on Microsoft technologies. I had to relearn everything from the scratch. My first product, Smart Voicemail, got a foothold when Tata Communications incubated it. But it failed. A smart entrepreneur is someone who identifies a problem that's large enough to address and painful enough so that users pay for it. Hanging out in Cupertino, thinking what to do next, I bumped into Raja and his friends who trusted and invested $500,000. I tried bootstrapping the company and failed in the first 3 iterations of the product. All my sources dried up, but I never stopped believing in myself. Fire is the test of gold, adversity of brave men. It's easy to be a nice guy when everything is happy and hey. A man's character comes out during his tough times. Even during such adversity, I never accepted offers that required me to give up on people who stood by me. There were co-founder offers which didn't want me carrying my existing investors along. Just a yes to ditch the existing investors, I could have landed a new team, funds to work on another idea, and a comfortable life in California. Disappointed that I did not take up any new jobs or offers, your mom and my parents accused me of being irresponsible, impractical, and not taking care of the family. Most of the times, it's not the work itself that is difficult. It's the lack of trust and support from your loved ones that makes life very difficult. Demotivation from your loved ones actually make you lose the strength to win. So, if you believe in something, run. Just run. Turn deaf to demotivation and discouragement. Your mom left to India with a 2.5-year-old you, and that was the last I saw you. We got divorced 3 years later. I miss you terribly, my son. Money dried up, product failed, wife gone, you gone. Through this period of personal and professional struggle, I lived out of my friend's couch for 4 months, ate dollar burgers, and survived on an extremely stringent budget. For a better meal, I would go to the local Gurudwara. For the first time, I experienced life without a place to stay, without money for food. People with privilege are usually ungrateful about having them until they lose them all. I went through 4 important stages in life. Rich and happy. Rich and unhappy. Poor and unhappy. Poor but happy. I was rich and happy when I started working for Microsoft, became an internet tech celebrity, and I was making good money. I was rich and unhappy when I got used to the money and lifestyle. I started having all first world problems and I started complaining about life. Then I became poor and unhappy when my project failed and I ran out of all money. I wasn't even able to afford a basic lifestyle. And finally, I was poor but happy when I realized that money isn't the purpose of life. Through this journey, I was sure of the realization that money and material possessions did not matter. I realized that winning in a single dimension of life isn't a life well lived. Compassion gives more meaning to life and living. Buddha said that when there is a lack of clarity, give time for things to settle down. After the divorce, I backpacked on a 5,000 miles road trip in US. I Airbnb'd my entire trip, couch surfing with families from different cultures and ethnicities all over the world. And after living with all of them, I realized that there is no caste, no creed, no religion, no color, no language, no ethnicity, and no economic status. It just all fades away. There are only humans and love. While I was working in one of the Airbnbs during my road trip, I bumped into a guy in his early 20s. I learned about social entrepreneurship for the first time from him and I loved it. It made more sense than a just-for-profit focused venture. This led me to explore more on social entrepreneurship and social ventures, and now it is a huge part of my life. You never know who you would meet during your travel who could play an integral part in shaping up your life. Son, travel more. I came back and I worked on my new product with a fresh mindset. I had a huge successful launch finally. Now I'm on my way to raise my next round of funding from a large institutional investor. Like every father loves his child, I love you a lot, Ryan. Living away from you has made me look at life and priorities differently. It made me reassess my life and what I've earned. Wealth without love is meaningless. And that's why I've decided to allocate 50% of my wealth for fostering social entrepreneurship, focusing on youth development, creating more jobs, and on broad social issues. It doesn't matter how deep you fall. What matters is how high you bounce back. This letter to you is your old man's advice on life. Fall, learn, but always pick yourself up, no matter what. Never, never, never lose faith in yourself. When someone tells you it can't be done, it's more a reflection of their limitation, not yours. If you have $1 million dream, don't be a white-collar slave. Love, your dad.